Good afternoon, Monroe County. Welcome to the May 12th, 2022 meeting of the Monroe County Solid Waste District Board of Directors. And apologies for our technical difficulties, which has made us late getting started, but we'll jump right in and get to work. We have a straightforward agenda, and let's begin with the roll call for attendance.
Munson,
Present.
Thomas, Githens,
Here.
Hamilton, here, Piedmont Smith,
Here.
Jones. You're muted.
Here.
Swafford.
Here.
We have a quorum.
So thank you. Board members Crawford and Lee Jones are joining us virtually, and you can see them on your screens. Our first item of business is just notifying you that you have executive committee meeting minutes in your packet for your information. Next, we have an action item on Board of Directors minutes.
If I can't ring them, I'm going to email.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the Board of Director meeting minutes from April 14th, 2022. Second.
Thank you. Does anyone have comments or questions about these minutes? Any change? Ms. Piedmont Smith.
Yeah, I guess just for the benefit of the public and the board members who aren't in person, because we just kind of talked about it here in person before the meeting. The minutes do not include a record of the joint meeting of the board members with the CAC that immediately followed the regularly scheduled board meeting of April 14th. So those minutes of the joint meeting should be available next month.
This sounds like a little bit.
Thank you. I'm hearing some.
Old road cover, all that, right?
In the background.
Yeah, right.
I think she's got it covered now.
Sorry. So if there are no questions, changes recommended, we'll have a vote on the minutes, please. And we do need to do this
Roll call with
Roll call
electronic.
for our members who
Yes.
are virtual.
Hamilton. Yes. Jones,
Yes.
Githens,
Yes.
Swafford,
Yes.
Munson,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next, we'll have the controller's report and hear from Ms. Kathy Martin.
Cash flow summary is on page 13 of the packet. As of April 30th, the ending balance in the operating account was $1,795,318.37. Savings account was $1,966.60. Closure bond debt was $7,511.93. Capital account was $45,433.27, and the landfill post-closure account was at $738,419.82. The individual cash flow statements for those accounts follow on pages 14 to 16 and 18 to 20. The cash balance graph is in the middle of those on page 17. Questions on the cash flow statements?
I don't see any questions, Ms. Martin.
So if you want to go on to the claims, on page 21, there is a listing of the pre-approved claims in the amount of $155,022.98. The backup documentation for those is on pages 22 to 38. And as you can see from the signature cover sheet on page 21 and the payroll and claims summary on page 22, we've broken those claims down as to those that were approved by the board each week and those approved under resolution 2022-22. Since we had no AP this week in our biweekly pay schedule, the pre-approved amount of $155,022.98 is the total of claims that I approve and am submitting for your approval. Questions on those claims?
Ms. Piedmont Smith?
Yes, so as mentioned on page 22, at the bottom of that list, there were, so there was a set of claims that were approved under resolution 2022-02. Does that mean those were claims that were less than $50,000? Or what is that? What does it mean that they were approved under resolution 220202? 0202.
That's the resolution that we just passed, a month ago, where those are the ones that staff signs and approves because they are on the approved list of vendors. They're the utility payments that we have approved that we can go ahead and pay, and any other claims that are under the $50,000 mark that are not utility claims, and those that are payroll type claims. There was a listing of 3 columns. The resolution covered 3 different types of claims. One was the utilities, one was the claims that were under a certain amount for other vendors, and then the payroll claims. And that's what that resolution covered. So those are the ones that we don't send to the board every week.
So I'm trying to read this memo on page 22. So what is the amount under resolution 2022-02 on May 4th? Is it the $66,000?
That's the total amount, but of that, $19,524.19 was payroll. $9,030.39 was payroll claims. $131.65 was longevity, and $37,468.09 was accounts payable claims for the week. So that's the total of those claims.
So the $37,468 accounts payable claims all fell under resolution 2022-02.
Actually, all of those things fell under that resolution. Right.
Well, I understood about the payroll, but
yeah, those payroll, those accounts payables did, those accounts payable claims did as well. Yes.
okay.
So this is a change for board members in our approval process that you'll see. And we hope it will be both effective and efficient. And
I just would point out on in the packet, pages 25 through 30, give you a breakdown, and pages 26 and 27 in particular show the vendors, the claims paid to vendors that fell under that pre-approval resolution 2022-02.
so when you look at those pages, you will see the type of claims that we were used to seeing weekly. And now we will see them in our packet monthly.
And I would just, Ms. Martin and I have talked, this is a change, and it's we're presenting things differently to the board as a result of that resolution being adopted. And, we've tried to make it as clear and easy to read and understand, but if any board members have any suggestions or requests that would make it easier to understand, by all means, we're open to those.
Okay. So this does mean that we need to look at our packets in some detail before the meeting. So we're prepared to ask questions about those claims that we're seeing. So anything further from board members? Questions, comments? May we have a motion, please, on, do we need to approve this, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, we need to, even though they're pre-approved, they're, need to be approved.
Was there I missed if there was a motion made.
No.
No, there was not. We usually do it
So we need
after
a,
questions are asked.
So I move approval of payroll and claims as presented in our meeting packet.
Second,
Thank you. Questions or comments? Mr. McGlasson, we're ready for a roll call vote, please.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Jones,
yes.
Munson,
Yes,
Hamilton,
Yes.
Swafford,
Yes.
Githens.
Yes.
Motion passes.
thank you. Next, we will be considering two resolutions. The first is 2022-04. And may we have a motion regarding this?
Yes, Madam
Resolution.
Chair, I move approval of Resolution 2022-04, Monroe County Landfill Financial Assurance.
Second,
Thank you. Mr. McGlasson, this is business as usual.
Yeah, this an annual resolution we've done for the past number of years. But we are required to do an annual financial assurance update on the post-closure at the landfill. And due to some of the amount and the criteria involved, we've historically asked the county to make that demonstration on our behalf. And they graciously have over the years, and this resolution just is the board stating that they approve the district making that request of the county council.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
Annual thanks to the county.
Well, they haven't approved it yet,
Well,
but they will. They will. Maybe it is becoming routine for the county council as well. So thanks. Any public comment? We will have a roll call vote then.
Swafford,
Yes.
Hamilton,
yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Githens,
yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Munson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
The next resolution, 2022-05, is to help us can expand our approval of vendors and to update our vendor list. Ms. Piedmont Smith, would you give us a motion, please?
Yes, Madam Chair, I move approval of Resolution 2022-05 to amend the district-approved vendor list.
Second,
Thank you.
Yeah, this just something that was necessitated. Breeden Cleaning, who has cleaned our 3,400 facility on weekends for a number of years, she's decided that she wants to spend a little more time with family and reduce her work on the weekends, and so effective the end of April is no longer cleaning that for us. Susan Miller, who is actually the sister of Regina Breeden that does Breeden Cleaning, has agreed to step in and fill that void for us. She's helped Regina out over the years on the weekends, is familiar with the facility and our cleaning needs. And so we just need to make that switch on the vendor list to remove Breeden Cleaning and add Susan Miller. And I should note for the record, it's in the memo, as a result of this, the monthly fee is going from $600 to $650. A minimal change.
Thank you. Any questions or comments regarding this resolution? None? Any public comment? We will have a roll call vote then, please.
Jones,
Yes.
Piedmont Smith,
Yes.
Githens,
Yes.
Munson,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Swafford.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Let's hear now from the Citizens Advisory Committee with the report. And we have with us today Mr. Joseph Winia. Thank you for being here.
Indeed. Thank you for being here as well. And good afternoon. I just wanted to mention a brief summary of the joint meeting that took place last month. Most of you, is the mic close enough to the mic? Is it picking up?
A
Thank
little
you.
closer.
Good. Okay.
Thank you.
That sounds better. Yes. So just a quick summary on the discussion that took place at the joint meeting last month. Since some of you were present, but perhaps some of you were not able to review the content, it focused on just 3 points. That was the biodigester feasibility study, the 5-year management plan implementation priorities, and then the district's apartment recycling strategies. So the week following the joint meeting, we had our regular meeting, and the CAC had our first official meeting with the new members, Ryan Edwards and Mason Greenberg. And in that meeting, we agreed to establish a 5-year management plan implementation and an evaluation guidance subcommittee to help the district primarily with reporting, but also implementation best practices, support where possible. And then also a second subcommittee to focus on the rebranding effort and to try to convene the 3 primary stakeholders in that effort between the CAC, the board of directors, and the district staff. So we have members assigned to each subcommittee, and we are going through the process of scheduling the guidance subcommittee meeting soon. And then we'll be waiting on, I think, board and staff for availability and participation in the rebranding subcommittee. And that is all I have for the CAC report.
Thank you. Questions or comments for Mr. Winia? Ms. Piedmont Smith.
Well, I guess to just thank you to the CAC for these 2 subcommittees. And I am wondering if any board members are interested in participating in the rebranding subcommittee. I'm interested.
Well, I was going to contemplate that too, but thank you for being interested. I presume you welcome board members to join you in this endeavor.
Indeed, that is actually the intent of the subcommittee. So that would be great to have board member participation wherever there's interest.
So please put me on your email list for that.
Okay.
Noted. Okay.
So I have a question about the rebranding. Is the committee considering how this will be handled internally or with the assistance of a consultant?
I think that's really the nature of the objective of the subcommittee, is to discuss those things
Okay.
and then make proposals for the process for moving forward to the board,
Okay.
following our discussions with staff and
Okay.
board representatives.
Well, I would like to be on that committee too, because I've participated in 2 other rebrands.
That would be
And
excellent.
it's an interesting process.
We'll be glad
so
to have you joining.
thank-
Thank you.
thank you.
Yes. Any
So-
other questions?
Anything else? Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Let's turn now to department reports and begin with our director, Mr. McGlasson.
Yeah, I'd just highlight out of the memo, the first bullet point, we are moving forward with starting a waste tire program. Have been doing some draft resolutions with our legal counsel, and we do anticipate being able to bring the resolutions necessary to the board at next month's meeting to establish that program and establish the fees for tires the district will accept. The hope being to begin accepting them on July the 1st for the benefit of the board and any members of the public that are watching. We are also still considering the types of tires that will be accepted. We're obviously not going to be in a position to take anything and everything. And you're looking at restricting it to residential sources of tires, non-commercial type tires. And then it's still working with various vendors that we're considering on what to do with specialty type tires. So, but all that should be figured out, and the types of tires to be accepted will be addressed in the resolution presented to the board. So, but we do hope to be in a position on July the 1st to begin accepting waste tires in some capacity from the community. So. Also did want to point out, we again plan to be present at the Monroe County Fair this year. But this year we're looking at collaborating with Monroe County Stormwater and Monroe County Soil and Water, doing a joint booth together, combining our resources, which will allow us all to get to share a much larger booth space for less money than it would cost any entity individually to do a single booth. So we're excited for that. Have some meetings scheduled with them to coordinate how exactly we plan to combine resources and get our combined message out to attendees of the fair. So, and I think that's, we did complete the rain barrel and compost bin Earth Day promotion sale. You can see on page 57 of the packet, the second page of the memo, we did get a total of 69 rain barrels and 43 compost bins that were ordered. And I believe all those at this point have been distributed to those. So again, pleased with the turnout or the results of that. And of course, thank Rural King and Monroe County Soil and Water Conservation District for their partnership this year and helping to promote that event and get those items distributed.
Thank you. Ms. Piedmont Smith?
Yes, I just wanted to follow up on the webinars that your memo, it says Elisa Pockrell participated in 2 webinars. Are these webinars that she organized for the public, or is these somebody else organized and she went?
No, those were
education?
somebody else's webinars that she attended and participated in. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Is there any more outreach happening to the business community? As far as, because there were a few Zoom meetings.
I know, yeah, there are plans to do some additional webinars, and I forget the exact reason that she put a pause. We did February, I think was the last one that we did. I think she got busy with some of the it being in the schools and some other education programs that she was doing. But there are plans to pick that webinar series back up and continue with that. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
The next report, we'll hear from Mr. Joey Long, recycling and reuse, and our
Hi,
other
everyone.
domains.
I will start with recycling with anticipation of taking tires. We've been rearranging our rear parking lot, moved some semi-trailers around. We went through our storage containers to combine some stuff. That way we could add a storage container to accept the tires when they do come in. That way they are ready for processing for the shipment when we have to do one. So the staff's been very busy with moving stuff around, and we've had some towing companies in, moving some semi-trailers and storage pods in. And our Green Business Network, our coordinator has been out at a couple different businesses. So he's been really busy. I think we have a few new ones that may come on. We've been doing some like on-site processing, looking to see what they can recycle and telling them how we can help them. So we do have a few new businesses that may sign on. And our hazardous material staff has been learning how to package stuff a new way with the vendors. That way we could keep costs down with inflation on everything. We've had some vendors contact us about how to repackage stuff for shipments. And so we've been going through some training with that to keep the cost down on everything. And our sites, we've met with the contractor about getting the parking lots fixed up, potholes, new gravel. It's that time of year, you know, we got to have somebody come in and fix all that. And that's all I have.
That sounds like a full report. Any questions for Mr. Long?
No.
So thank you.
Thank you.
And next we'll hear from Mr. Lee Paulson.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. The only thing I would really bring up outside of what's in the report is we have, there you go. We have, Mary Beth and I have primarily finished the May groundwater sampling part. We have one more thing to do to ship off on Monday, but I have to make sure that the lab receives all the bottles and nothing is broken or anything like that before I do the final step to complete at least this part. And as far as I know, the lab has received all the bottles without issue or anything like that. Now it's to them for their testing to run all the samples. And then once I get that stuff, we'll pass it on to AECom for their statistical analysis and go from there. So it's been an interesting event, as it always is, because we went from cold and raining last week to blistering sun out there in the middle of a field today. So we're kind of happy to be done with it. And the other thing I would talk about is just our environmental compliance cases are, nothing seems to be slowing down with that stuff. Mary Beth has quite a caseload with houses and residents that she's trying to work with to resolve the trash and waste issues with that stuff. And we can't get caught up. So we're doing the best we can. So if anybody in the public is listening or watching that, we're doing the best we can. We'll continue to do the best we can. It's just, there's only two of us. We have a lot of different things to do. So it just doesn't seem to be slowing down. So I don't know what has changed with people or what's going on in the community, but it just, people seem to care less and throw out more on the side of the roads. And we're the ones that are dealing with it. So, but yeah, so there you go. Our Adopt a Road is picking up. We've got Mary Beth has been doing a really good job of working with some community organizations to do some community cleanups, which has been great. Like a one-time deal where they just go out, a group of, I think one group was like 12 people, and they picked up part of Leonard Springs Road, and there was like 400 pounds of trash and waste from just one road section. So she's working hard at contacting and making connections with people to do some of these one-time deals. That is, they've done an excellent job, and we're trying to facilitate as much of that stuff as we can. So that's all for me.
Questions for Mr. Paulson about landfill or environmental compliance?
I'm just sorry that so much of the community is causing problems.
It's pretty shocking when you look at the numbers, the number of pounds of trash picked up. But a huge thank you to all the Adopt a Road teams, and encouragement to any organization that would like to make another team, because there are more roads out there, and unfortunately there's more trash. So we have completed our agenda for today, and
We public comment and comments from directors.
yes,
Oh, sorry.
they aren't on the agenda, but I was going to do it. So first, is there any public comment? And are there any comments from our directors? Ms. Piedmont-Smith?
Yes, just to remind board members, staff, and CAC that we are conducting an overdue review of our executive director, and surveys have been sent out. And please do fill those out and return them to Board President Cheryl Munson, so we can get a good amount of input on this review. It's very important. So please check your email, get those surveys turned in. What is the deadline, Ms. Munson? June 3rd?
I think it is June 3rd, and I wrote it down, and so I'm free to forget that date. I'm very
I
sorry, I
believe
don't
it's
have
June
that.
3rd.
right. I believe it's June 3rd. And I should tell you that they are starting to dribble in at the questionnaires. And I just want to assure everybody that your responses will remain anonymous. And thank you for working on this. It's important for the district. Any other comments? Board members, we have a very short meeting, and thank you for being here, and we will be adjourned.